It is 8:33 on a Friday morning, September 24th. Once again, happy birthday to my sister, Jennifer. Hey, it's the City of East Chicago show. I don't know, every so often. It is, what is it, twice a month we do this? We highlight the positive things that are going on in East Chicago. And let's be straight, this is a historic day in the City of East Chicago, one way or the other, probably. And it is the day that East Chicago Mayor George Pabé, his trial goes to closing arguments, along with the trial of Jose Camacho, both well-known figures in the city of East Chicago. And as we sit here now, we don't know what's going to happen, and that is kind of a weird feeling, because by the time a lot of the people watch it on the East Chicago television here, they'll know what happened. And then when we play the replay of the show here that we're about to do, then everybody will know what happened. So the issue is, we have the City of East Chicago show, and quite frankly, a good portion of the folks that may normally be on the show here, Damian Rico, Kenny from the Parks, and a lot of the other folks, they've been at the trial all week, and I've seen them out there, and I've been talking to them. So they are not here, so I'm going to be interviewing someone also stuff to do with the City of East Chicago, but the actual officials and so forth, they're out at the federal courthouse, as is my wife. Remember, she's out there, and she will be giving us an update of the closing arguments. As the day unfolds, we are scheduled to do a football game tonight. We will, at any point, if there is a verdict, or if there's any happenings in the trial, we will have them as quickly as we can have them. Football game, I think it'll go, but you never know. If there comes some sort of verdict at 6:45, then hey, Griffith Munster, you're going to take a back seat. Hey, how you doing today? You come in on a kind of a weird day, so I know I don't think we've ever met, but your name is?
Dana Wichlinski.
All right, Dana, since you got to move up to that mic a little bit, you got to be right on it.
Okay.
And I know it's warm because Mayor McDermott was just warming it up for about an hour. So, Dana, you are a student at Ivy Tech.
Yes, that's right.
Ivy Tech is what?
Community college, and the campus in East Chicago has a very good culinary school, and we went to the National Restaurant Association meeting in Chicago at McCormick Place this year, met the owners of El Popular Chorizo manufacturers, and we started speaking with them and came up with a chorizo contest cook-off.
And can I stop you right there for a moment? You're saying chorizo?
Chorizo.
And your name is Dana Wichlinski?
Yes, that's right.
And you're from, you live in the region?
I grew up in Hammond.
You grew up in Hammond? Is that your maiden name, Wichlinski?
No, my maiden name is Dorsey.
Dorsey. So
yes.
what part of Hammond?
165th and Jackson Avenue.
Oh, not too far from the station. You could wake up every morning and look out the front. You look out and see the tower. So I'm just going to point out that Dana Wichlinski, growing up in Central Hammond, and as Dana Dorsey, is calling it chorizo, correct?
Yeah.
Because if you get deep into the Hispanic culture, sometimes you hear chorizo, but that's, am I right? A little bit more chorizo, or is it chorizo?
Chorizo.
Chorizo. All right, that's just I'm just giving you, because we have a whole half hour to keep things going here today. Because as we speak, half of East Chicago's over at the federal courthouse.
Yeah,
but
great.
So we'll keep doing that on. But you will hear it once in a while. I mean, I obviously married a Mexican gal, and I had chorizo. But anyways, we'll go from there. Oh, El Popular, that chorizo is in my. There's two of these like. They're perfectly made for like just taking and going with those big chorizos. Things are like massive hot dogs in a in a casing. In a casing, right. And then you have the sausage inside of them.
Right.
And then what do you do with chorizo?
Oh, a lot of things. I am making for the contest an Indian dish, actually. So I'm doing something a little out of the box. It'll be a lentil dish with rice and a bread.
Let me tell you something. It's late on a Friday, and I tend to loosen up. Yeah, so I want to just point this out to the good folks of East Chicago and the rest of the region is that on a daily basis, there can't be many more radio stations in the United States that have a blending of the different races and ethnics that going on. I mean, in a 10-minute period, we may go up and down the different colors and races and all the way around. But never in all of my experiences have I heard of an Indian chorizo dish, and either as our cameraman, whom I've known for a while here, and who prefers to remain anonymous, in all of your life, have you had an Indian chorizo dish? He's nodding no.
They use similar ingredients and spices and flavoring, so
okay.
it works very
well. You can
well.
rationalize it however you want, but you know, if you walk into one of our good sponsors here at Taco Real and say, hey, I know you guys once in a while will do something special. Can you come up with a little Indian chorizo concoction for me? You know what they would say?
No.
They would say,
you're crazy.
Goodbye.
Yes.
All right. But anyway, so this is a chorizo contest.
Yes.
And it's on Friday, October 15th from 5 to 7.
Right.
Where's it at?
At the East Chicago Ivy Tech campus. And that's on, what is it, Columbus Avenue?
Columbus Drive.
Columbus Drive.
Welcome to Hammond and Munster,
right.
by the way. They're going to have a chorizo contest on Columbus Avenue. I'm sorry, I got to do that.
Wow. Harsh.
I am
Harsh
sorry.
This morning.
Well, do you know how many East Chicago people are like, what?
Yeah.
Columbus
Drive. Columbus Drive. I couldn't even think of Columbus.
There you go. That's
all
right.
The pressure of being on radio.
Oh, it says right here, Columbus Avenue on the flyer. Did you make this flyer?
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm kidding. It says Columbus Drive right here.
Good.
410 East Columbus Drive. For more information, call 392-3600, extension 245. Now, I want to get back to your Indian chorizo dish. There's somebody right now.
Yes.
There is a Mexican lady, one Mexican lady in the entire region that's going, you know what, I've been making chorizo every which way you can. Chorizo and eggs is real big.
Sure,
my wife eats that every Sunday.
Sure, I've made
and
that.
We also go get that, what is that real slow cooked meat that you get on Sunday mornings?
Barbacoa?
We buy it right over here on Kennedy at Ortega. What's that stuff called? What'd you call it?
Barbacoa.
No, that doesn't sound right. There's a word for it, but they make that all the time.
I
There's
have
a word.
blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm not.
I know that. And so there's, you're not Polish, but
No, my husband is.
your husband is Polish, and
Right.
and I'm half Polish, so. Here's like white people talking about Mexican stuff, which
Right.
because
Are you thinking of Anachata?
you know why? Because all the Hispanics that would be talking about it are over
They
at
would
the
already
federal
know.
courthouse. So that's what we're left with. And the only Mexican or the Hispanic in the room,
Is the
he don't want to
cameraman.
talk. So there it is. But either way, so there is somebody listening and say, you know, I've done a lot of things with chorizo. So can you give us your recipe? So somebody might want to make it. Or
well,
you're not allowed.
Really, no, I can tell you what it is. It's really basically a lentil dish, and it's called masoor dal. And so anybody who is Indian would know what that is. And at the end of making the dal, you would add the browned chorizo. So it becomes not a vegetarian dish now.
Now dal is kind of a pureed lentil, or no?
You do puree a portion of it just to thicken it up. And it has onions, and it has a lot of some turmeric in it. So it is
curry?
Traditional. No curry powder.
No curry.
It's a little turmeric in it.
Turmeric, and I'm not familiar with that spice.
It's yellow. It gives the dish that yellow color.
So it's a yellow. It's not the brown. It's not the brown lentil stuff that you get when you go to an Indian restaurant. It's the yellow. And I don't know about you. I don't know that much about it.
I use red lentils, not the brown lentils.
You use the red lentils so they can actually go a little lighter color.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I eat Indian food, and they bring me the menu and it has all these different things, and I'm like, I just want to know what color it is, okay? Because I want the yellow stuff. The yellow. They make Indian food. Always order yellow. Did you know that? For all of the East Chicago listeners that go out for Indian food on a regular basis,
which is none.
Como se dice yellow?
Amarillo.
Amarillo. Yeah, just give me the Amarillo Indian food.
Amarillo.
Amarillo. That's right. Amarillo. There you go. I knew that. And
Oh
we're
my
talking
goodness.
with Dana Wichlinski, and she is a student over at Ivy Tech in East Chicago. So how long have you been a student there?
A year.
And
1
so
year.
you're studying food?
I am a culinary student, yes.
Why are you a culinary student?
I was working and at the Electricians Union Hall, and I was laid off, and so I was looking for something to do. So I went to culinary school. I decided going to school was a better option than staying home and doing nothing. So I wanted to
So you
pursue a
were
career
working
that I
at
really
the
liked.
hall, or you were an actual electrician?
Working in the hall as
In
a
the-
receptionist.
As a receptionist in the hall, and you got laid off.
Yes.
Electrician's Hall is where?
In Hammond on 165th and Kennedy.
Right here.
Hmm.
And are they moving?
Yes.
Yeah, they built a new
Marigold.
facility, right?
Mhm.
Just like everybody else, they're moving. You know, they made a bunch of money, so they got to leave Hammond, evidently. All right,
I'm
and
not
I'm not
gonna
happy
comment.
about that. And I know a lot of electricians like, what are you doing?
Oh,
You couldn't
no.
find a place in Hammond? But anyways, carnitas. That's what it
Oh,
is.
carnitas.
Carnitas.
Carnitas,
You know what
yeah.
I'm talking about? You know
Yeah.
what carnitas look like? And my wife's, you know, once in a while she sends me over to either Ortega or there's this other place. Hey, can you go pick up some carnitas if you're up? All right. And I'll go in there, and of course I'm the only, you know, white guy within, you know,
Blocks.
half with a block. But I
It's
go
pork.
in, it's pork, and they like slow cook it, and it just kind of falls off
apart.
the bone if there is a bone. But really, what it looks like to me is that they took a person's human
Oh,
thigh,
no.
and it
Oh,
it looks
no.
like human thigh meat, just sitting there, and people will just come up there and take massive handfuls, and then, you know, put the saran wrap around it, and it'll go by the pounds. I mean, they'll eat it with everything, but mostly they'll take tortillas and put it in, and maybe throw some salsa on there, maybe a little sprinkled cheese, and just wolf it
And
down. Maybe put it
cilantro.
with some eggs, right?
Yeah, Mexicans call it carnitas. Puerto Ricans call it lechon.
All right.
And it's prepared a little differently,
Okay.
from what I understand. But for me, it tastes the same.
All right,
Yeah.
so the Puerto Ricans call it lechon,
Lechon.
and the Mexicans call it carnitas. And what do white people call it? They call it
That
thigh
white,
meat.
that white meat.
Thigh meat.
Thigh
Pork.
white meat.
Pulled pork.
It's
Oh.
a deep fried pork. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
my
what it is.
goodness.
And so we're talking to
Dana.
Dana Wichlinski, and she is a student at the very popular East Chicago campus of Ivy Tech. Now, you grew up in Hammond and live in Munster,
Yes.
and you wound up on Columbus Avenue in East Chicago, right?
Columbus Drive.
I know, I'm sorry. And so, I mean, people don't realize how cool a place that is.
No, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of people there, all ages. People just coming out of high school, people who work and are going back to school for a second career, or just taking classes in something that they enjoy. It's a very nice place. I love the campus. I love being there.